Hi everyone, I'm Amy Miller hopping on live here. I do want to check just one thing with the audio. Okay, good. Good. Okay. All right. I'm Amy Miller hopping on live today to share one way that you can be your authentic self throughout the interview process and better set yourself apart. So, really excited to talk about this topic today. Quick background, I'm a career coach and recruiter, some other things as well. This is my ninth year actively recruiting. So, I do have a lot of experience coaching many candidates throughout the interview process over the years. And I tend to see a lot of candidates struggling with some key topics that I'm going to be talking about. And one of which today is how to set yourself apart. Again, I like to share ways that may be a little bit unconventional to some, but I promise you they're going to help you feel empowered and energized. And during the interview process, it is really important to sell yourself. Sometimes I hear candidates, I don't always hear this, but I do hear this feedback from candidates more often than I would like to hear. I don't like hearing this, so don't say this. And that is, I don't like to brag about myself, which is the silliest thing, one of the silliest things that I've ever heard, because the interview process, this is when you want to brag about yourself. This is when you want to think about, reflect on, and practice articulating, preparing examples of ways that you can share past successes and achievements. Because if you can't confidently talk about that, how is a recruiter or a hiring manager going to feel confident in moving you forward? So it is important to brag about yourself, and you don't really have to look at it in that way if you don't like that term. I like talking about my strengths, so I guess you could say I like bragging about myself. But I also, I know areas that I'm strong in, and I love to talk about that. And I know areas that I need to improve, and I'm also okay, talking about that. So the interview process, this is your opportunity to get excited about who you are, where you've been, what you've done, and to bring this genuine enthusiasm and excitement to each step in the interview process. And in doing that, you're going to feel happy, you're going to feel confident. And when we feel happy and confident, that is when we are just naturally more ourselves. So one natural, simple, obvious, I think it's obvious, but we may not be thinking about this during the interview process, but way to set yourself apart is to be yourself, because of course you're the only one like you. There's no one else like you. And I guarantee you, no matter where you are in your career, whether you are tenured and you've got 20 plus years of experience, or you've got 1 year out of college, I guarantee you, whether it's your educational background, athletic background, just life experiences, you have achievements that you feel proud of, that make you feel really good when you reflect on your past achievements. And this is why, quick sidebar real quick, but one of the things that I have my career coaching clients do in our first session, I have a list of over 20, I call them foundational questions that I ask my clients. And one of them is to think about an achievement, a past achievement that they're proud of, and how they achieved it, and how that achievement and the process going through and achieving what they did, how it made them feel. Because this is also a way to elevate your self-esteem when you are feeling not so confident or upset about, or down. We all have down days. And I do this practice myself. Actually, years ago, or maybe a couple years ago, I remember because it was unusual, because I now have a very elevated mindset, and I feel happy most every day, all day, not always, but anyhow, I had something happen and it was really getting me down, and I was thinking, this is not like me anymore. So how am I going to get myself out of this funk? And I thought, okay, well, what advice would you give your clients? And I took my own advice. And so what I did was I reminded myself of my past achievements, of as many things as I could think of that I had achieved that I was proud of. And I thought of a lot of things. And it got me feeling really good about myself, and it elevated my self-esteem, my confidence, and I felt better again instantly. So this is a great a great practice that you can use to keep yourself happy and feeling good and elevating in a positive energy. And that's important because we're going to attract more of how we're feeling inside. But you can do this in the interview process, and you can do this in life. And then I thought I was good on thinking of my achievements because I was feeling better. And then I realized, oh yeah, and I wrote and published 2 books. Wow. So you can do this for yourself throughout the interview process, in preparation rather. for each step in the interview process. And this is going to help you get feeling really good about yourself, which is going to help you naturally show up as yourself. Because, yeah, sometimes when we're uncomfortable, when we're nervous, when we're in a new situation, when we don't know the other person, and especially when we're looking for an outcome, like in an interview, we want to be wanted, we want to move forward, we may not feel comfortable being ourselves. And of course, if we're meeting somebody for the first time, we're going to act a little bit different than if we've been knowing somebody for 3 years. But you're going to perform better in the interview process by being yourself. Okay, so let me get to the point here of one thing that you can do to help you prepare for the interview process and to show up as your authentic self. It is to prepare what I call a why me presentation. You might have a different name for it, but I call it a why me presentation. And this doesn't have to necessarily relate to the specific opportunity, but this is more about, of course, you can tailor it to each interview process and opportunity a bit, of course. But this is more about you, who you are, where you have been, and what you have done. And it may take some time to put together, but I promise you that each thing that you do, each step that you take to prepare for the interview process is going to be an investment in yourself that you can take with you in other areas of your life and in other interview processes. So I'll give you an example. I had an interview for an opportunity that actually came to me. I was working for myself at this point, and so I'm not interested in working for somebody else. I like working for myself, but I was really honored with the about the opportunity and the fact that they wanted me, and I was very familiar with this company, and so I felt really honored that they wanted to bring me on board. And so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and take the opportunity to interview. And then I thought, let me put something together about my past achievements and my goals. And I ended up taking about 7 hours, I think, to put together this, what I'm calling Why Me presentation. And I did a PowerPoint. You could do PowerPoint, you can do Canva, you could do a Word document. And as I was putting this together, I was thinking, you know what, this is really taking a lot of time that you're investing here. And you're not even really sure that you want this opportunity. So what are you doing? A lot of times, so many times along my career path and throughout my life, I have, but especially on my career path, I have taken actions that at the time maybe felt illogical. Like, what am I doing here? This doesn't make a lot of sense. But it somehow, for some reason, I felt compelled to carry through with that action. And every time it resulted in something really positive, and a lot of times a huge shift. So I invite you and encourage you to really follow your instincts. If you feel compelled to do something, even though it may not feel like it's making sense in that moment, do it anyway, because it's going to serve you. You're being called to do that for a reason. So anyway, I put together this PowerPoint of all of my, maybe not all, but all that I could think of, my past career successes. And, working for myself, I included I don't make money unless I produce. So I included, my income, and I saw year over year how I had increased that. And I included the number of placements and the tenure for each of these candidates that I placed. And I also included some specifics about my personal life and then future career goals. And anyhow, by the time I finished putting this together, I felt so good. I felt confident. I felt energized. I felt excited. And it wouldn't even matter if they decided they didn't want me. And it's not that somebody doesn't want you if you end up not being a right fit. It's just that it's not the right fit. But my point is, it elevated my confidence even more. And I was able to bring that confidence to the interview. And so if you take the time to reflect on your past experiences, your past challenges that you've overcome, how you overcame them, maybe in your career and maybe in your personal life, what it is you're looking to do next and why, this is going to get you excited about yourself. And if you're not excited about yourself or able to project that excitement, how can a hiring manager feel excited, right, about you? So forget about when you start, if you do decide to put together a Why Me presentation initially, when you start on that project, forget about the company that you're putting that together for, because you're not really putting it together for the company. You're putting it together for you. And you know what? Once you have it ready, you can email it or to the hiring manager. Maybe for part of the interview process, they have you share your screen and walk them through it. But maybe they don't even have a chance to look at it. This hiring manager maybe glanced at mine. He let me know that he thought it was really great that I put that together, but he didn't have time yet to look at it. And he probably never looked at it. And that's okay. It doesn't matter. It served its purpose because it helped me build myself up. And you can do the same for yourself. So I challenge you, I invite you to do that. Go back, sit down and brainstorm and reflect on your past experiences, your past achievements, and compile a Why Me presentation in a PowerPoint and Canva presentation, however you want to do that. And this is a much more expanded version of your resume. So this is another way to set yourself apart in the interview, or I'm sorry, to show up as your authentic self in the interview process, is to write your own resume, which I'll probably do, save that topic and go more in detail on that for another video. But it's the same kind of thing. A lot of candidates will say, oh, I need to get a resume writer, or they'll send me a resume that I think is not strong at all. And they'll let me know a resume writer wrote my resume. And sometimes the candidate will say, can I send you my original resume? And then the one, I maybe already have the one that the resume writer did, and you give me your feedback. And every time I like the one that the candidate did themselves much better than the resume writer. But aside from that, the reason why, I'm going to say that for another topic, but in staying with what I'm talking about now, if you take the time to write your own resume, this is going to require you to reflect on your past achievements, and it's going to help you feel really good about yourself. And nobody knows your experience better than you. Right? And oftentimes, if not most of the time, candidates will check some of the boxes and not all, and that candidate will be the right fit, because you could have a candidate that checks all of the boxes and they're still not a fit. But if you're showing up where you've got some of the things that they're looking for, but not all, maybe a different kind of experience or something like that, but you are showing up super genuine, super passionate, super confident, and believing in yourself, you can be humble and confident. But if you're showing up excited about yourself and your achievements and what you want to do, and you're bringing that passion to the interview, I think that naturally the hiring manager is going to trust you more. Why? Because you're being yourself. I mean, think about it. Do we trust people when they're holding something back, when they're not being fully themselves? Do we feel connected to them? We don't. And you may not be hiding something necessarily, or hiding something, keeping something to yourself that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we need to feel connected. The hiring manager needs to feel connected to you and excited about you, and you have to be yourself in order to project that. So putting together a Why Me presentation is going to do more than just provide a platform for you to showcase your experience. It's going to elevate your self-esteem, and you're going to feel confident and excited and happy coming into the interview. And you're going to be more confident because I think you're going to care less about whether or not you get that job. And if you think about it, I mean, the way I think about the interview process is and opportunities is, if it's not the right opportunity for you, it's not an opportunity. And if it's not the right job for you, you don't really want to be moved forward, because then you're investing more time in a direction that's not meant for you. But if you show up as yourself, able to articulate, this is me, this is what I've done, this is how I did it, this is what I'm now excited about, this is what I recognize in myself that I can do, here's what I need to work on, but here's what I'm really good at, and I'm interested in learning more about this opportunity because of this, then you're going to be more likely to move in the right direction. And even if you don't get that opportunity, or even if the hiring manager, like I said, doesn't have a chance to look at your presentation that you put together, you invested in yourself, and you're going to have higher self-esteem now, and you're going to be vibrating in a more positive energy, and you're going to attract more positive things and opportunities to you. You're just going to be more open to opportunities. So this is some of the unconventional coaching part of what I'm talking about today, which is a law of attraction stuff, really. If you think about, if you're in your head focused on past experiences that didn't turn out right, or they probably did turn out right, but not the way that you wanted, you're distracted and you're not present. And so you're going to miss out on other opportunities. So I really encourage you to write your own resume, take the time to reflect on your past experiences and put those details down on paper. And the same with your Why Me presentation. It's going to help you really feel like your authentic self and present that for each step in the interview process. My throat is scratchy today. I don't know why, maybe allergies. Let me look at my notes here to see if there's anything else that I want to put together or I want to share. Also, I'll share a quick note on this. So I've been working for myself for a while now, and so I hadn't updated my resume in quite a while, but a friend of mine requested that I send him my resume a couple of years back because he had maybe an opportunity for me to do some recruiting for another entity. And I didn't know enough about the maybe opportunity to even know if it was something that I wanted. But again, I felt compelled. Something told me, go ahead and update your resume. And in doing that, again, I felt really good about myself. I'm like, wow, look what you've done year over year. This is awesome. And I didn't end up doing anything with that opportunity. It wasn't really an opportunity for me. But I later used my resume for something else that came up. So I just enrolled in a master's program and they needed my resume. So I had it done. This was an investment in myself. It made me feel good and now it's done and I can just, have it ready to go. And so the same thing is true for you. When you invest in yourself, taking time to write your own resume and to put together a presentation that showcases, what you've done and what you have to offer and what you're excited about, then it's done. And you've got that and you might use it in something else. So the Why Me presentation, I don't know if I said this yet, but I used a lot of that information in a business plan that I later put together. And so that was, I didn't know I was going to end up using it in that way. So you never know. But for some reason, like I shared, I had felt compelled to finish it, to go ahead and do that. And I later, I was able to use it as a really important tool. So let's see what else I want to share with you guys before I hop off here. I don't know if I said this, but I think I did. Yeah, I think I already said that. Just a reminder, no matter where you are in your career, you have done something that you're proud of. And that it's important to note that, to be aware of that, to think about that and practice articulating it and doing these, writing your own resume and creating a Why Me presentation will help you to, it also creates awareness around your strengths. And what you have within you and what you're capable of, because you're reflecting on your past successes, okay? And then also when you take the time to write it out or put it together in a presentation kind of format, you're practicing talking about it. And so it's going to flow, you sharing your experiences is going to flow more naturally in the interview process because you just got finished, putting it all down on paper. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I think that's good. Let me know what you guys think. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have a topic suggestion, if it's something that I feel like I can bring value, maybe I will do a video on that. Also, if you are looking for more comprehensive and complete information, I post a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. Please, if you got some value from the content here, I invite you to like and subscribe to the channel. But also you can check out my new mini course, newly released, Attract the Opportunity, Win the Interview. I'm calling it a mini course, but it is very complete and comprehensive with a lot of information. Oh, hi, Chris. Thank you so much. Yay. I've got somebody watching. That makes me happy. Appreciate the comment. And please, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and you have a comment or question, leave it there and I'll follow up. But the Attract the Opportunity, Win the Interview mini course is available on my website and is super affordable. A lot of great information in there. It includes content as well as coaching videos. And I also include a lot of the coaching concepts from my full career coaching program in there too. And then I am offering interview coaching if you are thinking that maybe you could use some additional more hands-on support throughout your interview process. Again, this is something I've been doing with my candidates for years now. I'm really good at it. I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not so good at, and I go get help in the areas that I need help. But this is an area that I'm confident I can help you. So if you want to connect and see if we might be a good fit to work together, you're welcome to book a call on my calendar, and we'll see if I can help. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you, and we will see you in the next one.